The Barcelona preseason test came to an end last week, and now that everything has settled, it's time to look at what really happened. Which teams are truly ahead under the new 2026 regulations? With brand new rules, new cars, and new power units, it's not as simple as just checking lap times. Some teams focused on reliability, others tested new upgrades, and a few didn't even reveal their real performance yet. So let's break it all down. Let's start with the team that looked the most impressive, Mercedes. After several difficult seasons, the Silver Arrows finally look like they're back. They completed more laps than any other team in Barcelona, with over 500 laps and more than 2,300 kilometers completed. That's a massive achievement for a brand new car and a brand new power unit. It shows one key thing. The Mercedes is reliable, and in Formula One, reliability is always the first and most important step toward success. But it wasn't just about reliability. The Mercedes was also fast. George Russell set the quickest lap of the week with a 1:16.445. His teammate, Kimi Antonelli, was close behind with a 1:17.081. This car is both quick and dependable, and that combination makes Mercedes a serious threat heading into 2026. Next is Ferrari. The Italian team also had a very strong test. They showed good speed and solid reliability, with Charles Leclerc setting the fastest time on the final morning. The Ferrari power unit looked powerful, with both the works team and their customer team completing plenty of laps. The SF26 appears to be a big step forward compared to last year's car. The team seems to have a strong understanding of the new regulations. Lewis Hamilton has spoken very positively about his new environment. He's been impressed by the winning mentality he's seen at Maranello. Ferrari hasn't won a championship since 2008, but right now, they look like genuine contenders for 2026. McLaren had a more mixed week. They were late to begin running, only getting on track on day 3. When they did run, they suffered a fuel system issue that forced the team to strip the car down. That's not ideal, but it's better for problems like this to happen in testing rather than during a race weekend. The positive for McLaren is that when the car was running, it looked quick. Landon Norris and Oscar Piastri both posted competitive lap times. On the final day, the team managed to complete some valuable mileage. The MCL40 is a very complex machine, and the team is still learning how to unlock its full potential, but the signs are promising. The pace is there. Alpine had a quiet but productive test. They didn't top the timesheets, but they consistently ran laps and collected important data. The team focused on reliability and understanding the new car, and they avoided any major problems. It's a solid foundation for the French team, and they'll be looking to build on this at the Bahrain test. Haas was one of the surprise stories of the week. The American team showed impressive reliability, with both Oliver Bearman and Esteban Ocon completing plenty of laps. The car might not be the fastest right now, but it's a strong platform to develop. Team boss Ayao Talatsu has been working on improving the team's processes and operations, and early signs suggest those changes are already making a difference. Now, let's turn to the teams that had a more difficult test. Red Bull is one of them, the team that dominated Formula One for years before McLaren took the 2025 title had a mixed experience. On the positive side, their new power unit, developed with Ford, proved to be surprisingly reliable. Both Red Bull and their sister team, Racing Bulls, completed a lot of laps without major engine problems. That's a big relief, especially after so many questions about the new power unit. However, the chassis side brought some issues. Isaac Hadar crashed on day 2, costing the team valuable track time during repairs. Max Verstappen also had a spin on the same day. These are typical teething problems with a new car, but they still hurt preparation. Cadillac had a very tough start to life in Formula One. The new American team struggled badly with reliability. They completed very few laps and faced a series of small issues that kept them in the garage. While this is expected for a brand new team, it highlights just how difficult it is to compete at the highest level. Audi also endured a challenging week. The German manufacturer, who took over the Sauber team for 2026, faced multiple mechanical problems. They weren't able to complete many laps and already find themselves on the back foot. Audi has a lot of work ahead if they want to be competitive in 2026. Williams was the only team that didn't run at all in Barcelona. The British squad ran into trouble with their crash test, which meant the car simply wasn't ready in time. That's a major setback. As a result, Williams will arrive at the Bahrain test already on the back foot, forced to play catch-up from day one. Aston Martin was another team that arrived late. They didn't hit the track until day 4, and even then, they managed only a small number of laps before the car stopped out on circuit. This is a bold new machine, designed by legendary engineer Adrian Newey. But it's clear the team is still trying to fully understand it. The potential is there, but right now they're well behind their rivals when it comes to mileage and data. Then there's Racing Bulls. Red Bull's sister team had a fairly solid test. They were reliable and completed a healthy number of laps. They're unlikely to be fighting at the front, but they've put themselves in a good position to start the season with confidence. So, what does all of this tell us? It's still very early, but a rough pecking order is beginning to take shape. Right now, Mercedes and Ferrari look like the teams to beat. They've shown strong pace, solid reliability, and most importantly, a clear understanding of the new regulations. McLaren remains something of a dark horse. The car has speed, but reliability is still a question mark. If they can clean that up, they could become a serious threat. Red Bull is harder to read. The engine looks promising, but the car itself has had some early issues. For now, they remain one of the biggest unknowns on the grid. And the rest of the field appears to be some distance behind. Of course, a lot can change before the first race in Australia. The Bahrain test will give us a much clearer picture of who is truly ahead. But at this stage, it looks like the 2026 season could be shaping up